Yeah, go ahead, take it away.
The Rangers series. I see Stamkos is now a second liner. Well, you just don't see that in the NBA where the star players are suddenly having secondary roles.
They're just looking for matchups.
And you even made the good point about MVP, why they should vote it at the end of the playoffs, because the NBA stars are always in the playoffs. They're almost always in the conference finals. They're not in Prague like Sidney Crosby. And Steven Stamkos, number 1 overall pick, can't even get a shot on goal. But I'm supposed to believe, and you're one of these people that believes it, that, oh, there's nothing like the Stanley Cup playoffs. You know, even when the sport is getting boring, while the NBA is in a resurgence and scoring more, you still want to hold on. Yeah, but there's nothing like a Stanley Cup playoff game. That's a myth. There's nothing like an NBA playoff game. Is okay? Can I say that, or is it only hockey fans that get to just have that? Well,
you know,
our sport is the one where the playoffs rise above everything.
There we go, Sully on his NBA.
There's nothing like a World Series game for baseball fans.
Yeah, Sully, and you know.
But you guys hockey fans make it out to be like this truth that their sport is. You know, even when you criticize it, of all the major sports, though, you have to admit that our playoffs are better than anybody else.
I'd like to think that you're intelligent enough to appreciate both. I understand the flow and the intensity that comes with the hockey game. I mean, a 2-1 hockey game, I don't need a 6-5 game. I'd be more bored with that than a 2-1 hockey game. I love a low-scoring pitcher's duel in baseball. Do I want that every time? No. I wish there were more goals scored in hockey.
1-1
but don't tell me when it's 1-0 or 2-1 and you're playing. I mean, are there dead times during those games? Yes, absolutely. And there are in the NBA too. And I love basketball. It's not like every second of a basketball game is overly stimulating. There's times when it gets slow. And hockey's the same way. And if you understand the sport and appreciate the sport and the athleticism involved, maybe you'd have a different take.
Here we go. But half of you people will tell me soccer is boring because there's not enough scoring.
Soccer is boring.
I mean, it is about scoring. The NBA, you're back and forth,
the field's too big in soccer. Don't even go with soccer.
The lead will change hands 8 times in 3 minutes. No, now soccer's a joke because you don't understand it, right?
I guess, I've tried to understand it. I don't. And you know what? If that's
a 2-1 hockey game is the greatest thing going. It's better than 6-5, but you want soccer to be 6-5 because then it won't be as boring.
I'll plead guilty to that it's my fault in soccer. I do think it's a joke. I think the field's too big for the people that are on it and the ball. If the field was smaller, there'd be more
indoor soccer. It
doesn't have to be indoor, but the field doesn't have to be this gigantic landscape, acres and acres of field for one little tiny ball and a bunch of players who can't catch up to it. It'd be a much better, faster game if it was played on a smaller field.
My point is not that I don't like hockey, that it isn't exciting in the playoffs. I'm objecting to this notion that hockey fans have that their sport is somehow better in the playoffs than other sports in the playoffs. It's based on nothing. I went to the no-goal game. You know what was most memorable, other than the goal shouldn't even counted? The 40 minutes where nothing happened but James Patrick hitting a puck off a crossbar. There were people falling asleep in the greatest game ever in hockey. You think that ever happened in the Celtics-Lakers?
You think any of those people were drinking all night?
Well, that's just your relatives. And I know they don't like me, so there.
No, they like that, believe me. But so you can't appreciate like a good hard hit or good defense or guys blocking shots they pay such a physical price in hockey. I don't understand how you can't appreciate that.
Nothing like having some guy who's a marginal athlete taking a puck in the face in the playoffs and coming up as some big hero while Sidney Crosby's in Prague. With 7 or 8 other stars. Why do they even have the World Championships while the Stanley Cup is going on?
I don't know, that's ridiculous.
Is this sport? But they were not going to go to the Olympics again,
Canada won the gold, by the way. They were really excited, too.
Oh, and Tyler Ennis, boy, big, geez. Is there going to be a Tyler Ennis parade down Washington Street?
He played well.
Now you got me all worked up. I didn't say I didn't like hockey. I'm making a nuanced point, which as usual has escaped you.
Tyler Ennis did play well, by the way, and Canada did actually. No, it's a big deal in Canada.
Eichel's a big deal.
Yeah, Eichel played well. He had 2 goals and 7 points.
That's who should be playing in the World Championships, 19-year-olds, when the sport that they're not in the NHL yet. Great.
All right, so where do you go from there then? Go ahead. That's all you have to say about hockey. You're done. That's all.
You just argued for 5 minutes. What do you want? The Gettysburg Address? Well, that was only like 400 words. It's already longer than the Gettysburg Address.
Heaven help me, Lord, please.
Have we talked about Babcock yet?
No.
Oh, well, we'll get to it. You're slowing things down here.
Well, he's supposed to be making a decision on Wednesday, and it looks like it's down really, I think, between Buffalo, Detroit, in San Jose. I don't think Toronto has a shot. Philly hired their guy today. Montreal's hired their guy. I don't think that Toronto interests him. So he says it's going to be a family decision, and I would imagine his family's going to have some input. So his family's going to have to decide whether he wants to make more money in Buffalo. And the other thing, just the San Jose thing, Babcock reached out to them after they fired his guy, by the way, Todd McClellan, who worked under him in Detroit. And I think he was just feeling things out. So it's going to be interesting. It always is.
I know when the players say it's a family decision, it's always about money.
Like
Like when the guys declare for the NBA and decide to go for millions of dollars rather than pretend to go to class. I did what's best for my family. Yeah, you went for money.
That's right.
And I'm just wondering, though, if Pagula can afford to pay a lot more than he's paying Rex
Can he
Ryan.
afford?
Well, Rex Ryan, I mean, politically, can you really go way over Rex Ryan to pay in your two major sports, the one that's really kind of a minor sport? I don't know.
Probably not.
Sorry to insult hockey again.
That's all right. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, wrap it up. Calm down, Sully. Cool off.
I'm calm.
No, you're not.
I know.
You're going to be screaming and yelling in about 2 seconds as soon as when the break starts.